Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Max, and I just recently got back from WonderCon 2022 out in Anaheim, California. And upon going to the convention, I didn't really see very many panels that I was interested in going to, so I pretty much just walked the floor for most of the time and saw some really cool creators. However, there was one panel that really did interest me. And that is the panel held by the OneRing.net. That is correct, the same OneRing.net that has posted so many tweets on the toxic fandom of The Lord of the Rings, calling the fans racist or sexist or bigots, or more recently, saying to creators and fans that they should demonetize or cancel their income from their Lord of the Rings videos due to them not having enough love for this new Lord of the Rings adaptation from the Amazon showrunners. Thank you for Steph from My Nerdy Home for finding that for me, because she is an absolute Sherlock Holmes when it comes to finding these resources and these clues, because that same tweet that I was just discussing is actually deleted as of now. So they got rid of it, but I didn't forget. So I saw the panel and I said, you know what? I have to make a point to go to this thing. So I went to it, and surprisingly enough, they were on their best behavior. I figured I would share with you guys what I heard and what actually went on at that convention in that panel, where they discussed some exclusive topics and some information that could be rumors or it could be news that we will see in the upcoming show. So I figured I would share that with you guys here.
Our name show up. So the WonderCon.net is a fan site that is built by fans for fans. It is not for profit. Nobody makes any money. We don't have any ads on our site. We don't ask for donations. We don't even have super chats on our YouTube live streams. We are totally independent, not for profit. Also, we want to be good with the license holders, right? So we can't make money. Only the big boys can.
Anyway, I essentially wanted to go to this panel because I thought that they were going to address some of the very controversial concerns, right? Like the dwarves, the female dwarves not having beards, or the elves not having long hair, or the new characters that have come out of nowhere that weren't in the text of Tolkien's works. Like things like these that I thought they were going to discuss. Now, they did discuss the long hair and the elves, and we'll get to that clip in just a moment. But for the most part, they kept it pretty tame. And like I said, I think they were just trying to be on their best behavior. And by best behavior, I mean they weren't taking any questions. I don't know if that's weird or not, but most of the panels that I've been to in the past, at past conventions, there's always like a 15-minute question and answer. So though they didn't talk about a lot of the controversial topics that have been coming up within the news and the Vanity Fair articles and the tweets and all this stuff, they did actually disclose some cool information. The first issue that I mentioned previously, and the one that they talked about that was somewhat a rumor, somewhat of an exclusive kind of insight into what the story is going to do, was basically that the elves that we see, Arondir and Elrond, do have short hair. And what the OneRing.net panelists mention is that this might not have been of their own volition to cut their hair, that this might have been something that, as they alluded to, wasn't something that they wanted to have done.
If you notice, both those other elf characters, they have shorter hair. And there's been a lot of internet debate about short hair. There's been a lot of Tolkien scholars pulling out all these different passages from all of the writings of Tolkien of how elves could have had short hair.
They're not pulling their hair out.
The rumors are that the short hair you see here is addressed in the story. And maybe their hair was cut off against their will, and Elrond's is growing back quicker. So that is the rumor right now, that the short hair will be addressed in the show. It's not just a creative,
not a fashion statement.
Not just a fashion statement. Yeah.
The next thing that they discussed were the dwarves. Yes, a major point of contention for a lot of people within Tolkien's fandom. They did discuss Dissa, or Diza. I believe I was calling her Diza in previous videos, but Dissa. And I guess it is an adaptation of Kili and Fili's mother, who is named Dis in Tolkien's works. So is Dissa in the show actually Kili and Fili's mother? Because that wouldn't necessarily work, right? So though they didn't discuss her beard or lack thereof, they did discuss her singing in the most recent trailer that we saw, and what that could be in reference to.
And if you saw the trailer, you saw a shot of Dissa singing. Why is she singing? The rumors are that that's how the dwarves find the lines of mithril and gold. They sing and they listen for the echoes on the different rock formations, and that's why they're so good at mining.
So from what I understand from this clip is that she is singing to find, to actually utilize it as a skill in order to find some of the jewels and some of the mithril that are within Khazad-dûm. Speaking of dwarves, we also saw an exclusive photo of Durin's throne room. Now, I can't actually show that here because I don't want to piss anyone off, and I really don't want to be that kind of guy, but I can talk about it here. One of the things we did see in Durin's throne room was a dragon's tooth, or maybe multiple dragon's teeth within that throne room. They have created an entire set for this throne room within Khazad-dûm, which tells me that they're most likely going to have a good amount of scenes there. But yeah, within the throne room there is a dragon's tooth, almost as kind of like like a trophy. But we know from reading some of the appendices and reading the Silmarillion that there really isn't a lot of mentioning of dragons within the Second Age. We hear of the worms to the north in The Hobbit briefly, so I don't know how they're going to be able to bring dragons into this, maybe from the First Age, and having slain dragons in the First Age, maybe there are some memoirs there that are held within the halls of Durin. I'm not sure. The other thing that they showed that I can't show here, unfortunately, was the armor of the dwarves. There is a shoulder pauldron that is actually dragon scale and chainmail. So once again, I don't know what that looks like for the Second Age, but I do know we see a good amount of dragons within the First Age, and my cat wants to join the conversation, if you can see him right here. They also gave us a look at Numenor, at some of the set design for Numenor. Once again, I can't show these pictures here, but I will say that it is a full-blown set piece. I mean, it doesn't look like it's a lot of green screen. It doesn't look like it's a lot of that motion screen that we've seen a lot within The Mandalorian and like kind of Disney Star Wars. It is a true set that we are seeing, that people are walking through, and it looks very Mediterranean, as Numenor should be. It's very Italian, so think almost like Pompeii, the little coastal city of Positano in Italy. It is very reminiscent of those places. And I have to say, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like there's a lot of green screen or blue screen. Like I said before, it looks like these are actual sets that have been created from the ground up, which is pretty cool. And the last thing I wanted to mention here was the sword, Andúril, the blade of Isildur, and then later Aragorn and everything, but that we see in the films. But we were told that the blade that we see in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the Peter Jackson trilogy, is much different than what we are seeing within this Amazon series. In fact, this is the actual blade, Andúril or Narsil, that we will see within the Amazon show, that it directly correlates with the sword from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but as you can see, they are completely different. So overall, I am glad I went, and hopefully this information is going to play out in the show as we heard it here, because I would be very interested to see how this all plays out, and hopefully it plays out well for the fans and plays out well for Tolkien. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more like it, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel, sharing it with others, and donating to the Stream Elements link below. Every donation goes right back into the show to provide better material, better and more frequent uploads, and overall just better production value. Another huge thank you to all my fans and subscribers for your constant love and support. I humbly say that I could not do this without you. That's all I have for now, and I will see you guys in the next video.